Before we begin our class, we will recite Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimiraandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksuramilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhiraye Nastapraye Swabhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Jayatam Surato Pangor Mama Mandamater Gatihi Mata Sarvasva Padambojo Radha Madan Mohano Divyada Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadaha Srimadharatna Garasiha Sanausto Srimadharadha Shila Govinda Devo Prestali Sevyamano Smarami Sriman Rasrasaharambi Bansi Batatastata Karasana Swanere Gopi Gopinatha Sriyestu Naho Anarpitacharim Chirat Karunaya Avatina Kalo Samarapai Tamunnatayujvala Rasam Swabhakti Sriyam Harihi Puratajuti Sandipitaha Sadaradaya Kandare Spurato Vo Satchinandana Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Bansi Vibhushi Takaran Navaneeradabha Pitambara Darunabim Bafala Darosta Purnendu Sundara Mukhara Vindanetra Krishna Param Kimapitattvaham na jane Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratu Se Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone. So, we will continue our study from chapter 3 of Shrimad Bhagwatam, Canto 1. The title of the chapter is Krishna is the source of all incarnations. So in this chapter, we have already learned two lessons, lesson 13 and 14. in which we have learned about the appearance of Purusa Avatar, Karnodakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Kshirodakshay Vishnu. And also in lesson 14, we have learned about the three incarnations, right? Kumara, Vara, Boar incarnation, and Narad, Sri Narad. Okay, so Lord Krishna has innumerable incarnations. You cannot even count it. There are as many waves in the ocean, that many incarnations Lord Krishna have. So in this chapter, 22 incarnations are described, from which we have learned about three incarnations. Today, we're going to learn about some more incarnations, okay, which is lesson 15. So description of incarnations part 2, and we will cover today from text 9 to 14. So in text 9, the first incarnation described is there, which is fourth incarnation. Basically, we have learned three incarnations. So the fourth incarnation is Nar and Narayan, which is described in text 9 of the chapter 3 here. So I will read that verse and then we will discuss about it. Okay. तुर्ये धर्म कला सर्गे नर नारायण ऋषि भूत्वात्मोपशमं पेतम akaroduscharam tapah. So in the fourth incarnation, the Lord became Nar and Narayan, the twin sons of wife of King Dharma. Thus, he undertook severe and exemplary penances to control the senses. So I will share the screen for the PowerPoint presentation. Okay. So in the beginning of chapter, we learned about this Vishnu form, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai, Karanodakshai. And we also learned about three incarnations, Kumar incarnation, Boar incarnation, Vara avatar, and then Narad Muni. So today we will begin from this Nar and Narayan. Okay. So you can see Nar and Narayan there in the slide. Okay. So we will, in this fourth incarnation, Nar and Narayan incarnated as son of King Dharma, okay, and his wife Murti. So what was the purpose? So they said that they undertook severe austerity. So it is also described in Shrimad Bhagwatam that King Rusab advised his sons to do tapasya. Tapasya means austerity. Austerity means voluntarily accepting some inconveniences for the better result. Okay. So that's why this form, Nar and Narayan, will teach that austerity. Because that is the only duty of the human being. It was so done by the Lord himself in an exemplary manner to teach us. The Lord is very kind to the forgetful soul. He therefore comes himself and leaves behind necessary instruction and also sends his good sons as representative to call all the conditioned soul back to Godhead. Okay. Recently in Kali Yuga, for 500 years ago, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he gave some instruction. So this is ongoing process. Okay. So this incarnation of Narayan is worshipped at Badrikashram. As you have heard, there are in four direction, four places are there. Up in the north, in the Himalayas, Badrikashram is there, where this Nar Narayan is worshipped. Okay. In the south, the Ranganath, the Rameshwar is there. On the west, Dwarka is there. And on the east, Jagannath Puri is there. So all these four sides, there is a holy place that they worship. So Nar and Narayan are the Supreme Lord's dual incarnation, you can call it. Narayan is Lord himself and Nara is part of the Lord. That is Arjun. So here Nar refers to Arjun, Narayan refers to Supreme Lord himself. Right? We are also part and parcel of Lord Krishna. As Lord Krishna says in chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita, Mamai Vamsa Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. What does he say? He says the living entities, means all we are living entities in this conditioned world, are my eternal fragmental parts. Okay? So, and that is our identity. It is our real identity that we are part and parcel of Krishna. We are servant of Krishna. He is the master. We are the servant. Okay? So, it means the souls, which means eternal. We also call it eternal in Sanskrit as Sanatana. You have heard that word. Sanatana means eternal. So basically, Lord Krishna manifests himself or expand himself in so many categories, but main two categories. Okay. So out of these two main categories, number one is primary or personal, or you can say Swa Amsa, which is Vishnu Tattvas. That is a expansion. And the secondary is separated, means Vibhinna. Vibhinna means separated house. And that are Jiv Tattvas. And that's where we belong, living entities. So primary, secondary, personal, separated, Swaamsa, Vibhinnamsa. These are the different names, but these are the two main categories. And in that category, there are so many other subcategories involved. So this Nar and Narayan are forms of Arjun and Krishna. Okay. They are twin sons of Dharma and his wife Murti. Now Dharma is son of Brahma and Murti is daughter of Daksh Prajapati and Prasuti. And as you know, Prasuti is the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu and Satrupa. Okay. So now here, this may be your homework questions that you have to make a note of it if you are writing. I'm going to describe the feature of this Nar Narayan form as you can see in this picture. Okay, in this picture, what you see? One of them is whitish. You can see that. And another one is blackish. So the whitish is not actually white color, but it's kind of an skin color.
It's very pink.
Yeah. So one is Arjun and one is Lord himself, right? So one is whitish, one is black complexion. So the bluish like thing is considered like black, but the bluish is Lord Krishna. Okay. Now they both have forearm. You notice that both of them has forearm. We have two arm, but they have forearm. And in that forearm, you can write down they both have forearm and they wear garments of black deer skin. You see that they have a garment around their waist, which is a deer skin and bark. Okay? Now, along with, they also have a stranded sacred thread. They call janoi. So and they carry water pot, a straight bamboo staff, and lotus seed prayer bead. This is what they carry. So your homework question is describe the feature or form of Nar Narayana. You can write it down from this picture. You can see that one is blackish, one is whitish, and they hold these things in their hands. Each has a forearm like that. So that is described here. Their eyes resemble the petals of blooming lotuses, and they were worshipped by the foremost demigod. Okay. Now, as I say, they appeared at the Badrikasram up in the north in the Himalayas. Why? To favor his devotee by teaching them. What are they teaching? They're teaching them religion, knowledge, renunciation, spiritual power, sense control, and freedom from false ego. Basically, they all sum up in one word, which is called austerity. Okay. They are teaching people how to achieve self-realization. Self-realization means who you are. They teach by example that austerity is the duty of the human being, and that by controlling senses, one can realize Krishna and engage in his service. So the Lord is very kind to forgetful soul. He therefore comes himself and leaves behind necessary instructions to call the conditioned soul back to Godhead. Thus, these two inseparable sages took avatar on the earth for the welfare of the mankind as Nar and Narayan. And this incarnation of Nar Narayan teaches that one must be very serious about self-realization and the practice of austerity. That is the main thing. Unfortunately, the people on this age of Kali do not even know the meaning of austerity. Under these circumstances, the Lord has appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu more than 500 years ago to bestow upon the fallen soul the easiest method of self-realization. That is to clean the dirt from the core of the heart by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare.
Hare Hare.
Which is very simple process, and you can chant any place, anytime, anywhere, in any state. That is the advantage of that thing. While some Vedic mantras you can only chant in your purified stage. Okay. Now, Shrimad Bhagwatam describes the story of the birth of Urvasi from Nar Narayan. Okay. So you may have heard the name of Urvasi. Is Apsara, they call it, in the heavenly planet. The heavenly beauty is called Urvasi. Okay. So there is a little story that I will like to mention it to you. So once upon a time, when sages were meditating at Badrikasram upon the Himalayas, Indra became fearful. Why? When somebody does austerity, he became fearful. The reason for that he doubt that, oh, maybe, after perfecting, he will take away my throne in the heavenly kingdom here. So that was the fearful. So Indra became fearful with the power from their austerity that they would take over his heavenly kingdom. So Indra decided, to send Cupid. Cupid is a lord of love with beautiful women to disturb their austerity. Generally, if somebody is doing austerity, if they see women, they get disturbed. So the austerity will get broken. And that way, Indra thought that let me send a Cupid and a beautiful woman so their austerity will be disturbed. But on the other hand, Nar and Narayan, they were not disturbed. They were so fixed up in their austerity, and they will not be disturbed by any beautiful women. Although Indra, in one sense, created an offense towards Nar and Narayan, and did not get, but this Nar Narayan did not get proud of or angry. Instead, by their own mystic power, they created uh, and showed demigod many more beautiful women than they sent. I mean, the demigod sent some, but Nar Narayan, by their mystic power, they were doing austerity. Okay, they are not trying to take revenge on Indra. They became so compassionate, but they produce more nicer women than they have sent. Then demigod realized the power of austerity of Nar Narayan. So they bowed their heads in shame and very regretful of their offense. But Nar Narayan were very merciful to them, and by pardoning them of their false pride, they then asked the demigod to choose one of the beautiful ladies named Urvasi to take back to heavenly planet. You know, so sage produced that lady from the thigh, and thigh in Sanskrit called Uru. So that's why her name was Urvasi. See, Narayan produced that Apsara, that beautiful woman, from his thigh. And thigh in Sanskrit called Uru. And that's why her name is Urvasi. So this is a little story on that. Nar Narayan was so much fixed up in the doing austerity that they will not be disturbed, but instead they gave Urvasi to demigod. Okay, so this is about the fourth incarnation, Nar Narayan. Now we'll move to the fifth incarnation, whose name is Kapila, that is described in text 10 of the chapter 3 here. So it's this is the next incarnation. Here you can see the Kapil Dev. Okay. Panchamaha Kapilo Nama Siddhe Sakala Viplutam Provacha Surai Sankhyam Tattva Grama Vinirnayam. So in the fifth incarnation, named Lord Kapila, is foremost among perfected being. He was real perfect. He gave an exposition of the creative element and metaphysics to Asuri Brahman. For in course of time, this knowledge had been lost. Now, the sum total of Sankhya philosophy that Kapila gave is that there are 24 elements in the beginning that Lord gave us to Brahma for the creation of this material world. So each and every one of them is explicitly explained in the system of Sankhya Yoga. Now, Sankhya philosophy is generally called metaphysics also by European scholars. And etymological meaning of Sankhya is that which explains very lucidly by analysis of the material. Sankhya means by analysis. Anything you explain by analysis, that is called Sankhya. So this was done for the first time by Lord Kapila, who is said here in the fifth incarnation of the Lord. So this Lord Kapila is the son of Kardama Muni and Devhuti. Kardama Muni, again, son of Lord Brahma, and Devhuti is the daughter of Manu and Satrupa. Manu and Satrupa has three daughters, Akuti, Prasuti, and Devhuti. Okay, so we talked about Prasuti, and now this is Devhuti. Later we'll talk about Akuti also. So the Devhuti, daughter of Manu and Satrupa, was married to Kardama Muni. And that was by arrangement of the Lord. Because Kardama Muni was doing tapasya. He was doing austerity to get married. Okay. So then Lord sent him, uh, he was pleased and told him that in few days Manu and Satrupa with their daughter Dehuti will come. So you please accept her as your wife. So that is how he got married. So then, of course, the Kapil Bhagwan is a story is there. Uh, Before Kapil Bhagwan born, there are 9 daughters Devhuti gave a birth to, and then last one was 10th one was the Kapil Bhagwan as a son. So when Kardama Muni finished his grahastha life, he left home. Then Kapil Bhagwan, who is his son, became a spiritual master of his own mother Devhuti. And his description is that he has a golden hair. You can see in the picture. His eyes are just like lotus petal. His lotus feet are marked with lotus flower. And he preached his mother devotional service. Basically, Sankhya philosophy, which is combination of mysticism and devotional service. Lord Kapil is the highest authority on yoga also, and explain the yoga system known as Ashtanga yoga system. Now, this Ashtanga yoga system has 8 limbs, 8 processes, 8 practices to follow, which are yam, niyam, means rules and regulations, positive, negative, do's and don'ts, yam, niyam, then asan, particular posture, and having particular posture, you have to do pranayam, exhaling, inhaling air according to certain rules, regulations. So you got yam, niyam, asan, then pranayam, then pratyahar. Pratyahar means withdrawing the senses from the sense object. That is called pratyahar. Okay. Then after pratyahar, there is dharana and dhyan. Dhyan is more concentrated. And then samadhi. Samadhi is complete absorption. So these are the 8 practices. So that process the Kapil Bhagwan has explained. Now the purpose of this practice is to realize Lord Vishnu. Okay. So some yogi, by perfecting these 8 practices, they can see Vishnu in their heart. Okay. Now the Sankhya philosophy explains 24 elements. Okay. And that 24 elements are like this. 5 gross element, these are earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Okay. And 5 subtle element, which are smell, because you can smell from your nose, taste, form, touch, and sound. And there are knowledge acquiring senses in our body: nose, tongue, eye, skin, and ear. And there are 5 working senses: hand, leg, mouth, rectum, and genital, like that. And these are 20, and there are 4 subtle senses, which is mind, intelligence, ego, and consciousness. Also, they call it man, buddhi, chit, and ahankar. Okay? So that is 24 elements, and that is explained by Kapil Bhagwan. Now we'll move to the 6th incarnation called Dattatreya, which is described in text 11. Sastam atrerapatyatvam vruttah prapto anasuyaya anviksikim alarkaya prahladabi uchivan. So this is the Dattatreya incarnation you can see here. The 6th incarnation of the Purus was the son of sage Atri. He was born from the womb of Anasuya, who prayed for an incarnation. he spoke on the subject of transcendence to Alarka, Prahlada, and Yadu and Haihais. Okay. So the Lord incarnated himself as Dattatreya, because the three face here you can see. Son of Rusi Atri and Ansuya. The son of Atri, the Rusi Atri came in Moon dynasty. Okay. And Ansuya is one of the daughter of Devhuti. Okay. Because they have 9 daughters. So history of the birth of Dattatreya as an incarnation of Lord is mentioned in Brahmanda Purana in connection with the story of devoted wife, which I'll tell you in a minute. It is said there that Ansuya, the wife of Rusi Atri, prayed before the Lord Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva as follows. My Lord, if you are pleased with me and if you desire me to ask from you some sort of blessing, then I pray that you combine together to become my son. So this was accepted by these three lords, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. And as Dattatreya, Lord expounded the philosophy of the spirit soul and especially instructed Alarka, Prahlada, Yadu, and Hai. So, in short, the Lord incarnated himself as Dattatreya, becoming a son of Atri, Rusi, and Ansuya in the Moon dynasty. Now, Dattatreya is an incarnation of divine trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. He made 24 gurus from material nature. The history of the birth of Dattatreya as an incarnation of the Lord is mentioned in the Brahmanda Puran, as I said before, in connection with the devoted wife Anasuya. So I will tell you that story in brief. What happened? One time, goddess Saraswati, who is the wife of Brahma, Lakshmi, who is the wife of Vishnu, and Parvati, who is wife of Lord Shiva. They wanted to test the chastity of Ansuya, okay? Because Ansuya was the epitome of chastity. You know, she was very strict in that. So they sent their husband Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So when Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva went there, they asked Ansuya to serve them food in her naked form. So Ansuya, with her power, made all three babies, all three Purus, this Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, in the form of baby. So when babies are there, she don't have a problem to serve them without cloth. So she did that thing. And at that time, when Atri Muni came, he was surprised and he invoked the spiritual power and transformed these three babies into three-headed baby. One baby, you can see that. That is Dattatreya form. Okay. And also, in another place, it is said that Ansuya was pleased and they asked this boon and Ansuya wanted them as their son combined together. So this is the combined form of Dattatreya. You can see that three heads are there. Three right hand carries trident. You can see three right hand, three of them, trident, rosary, and lotus flower. And then three of left hand, they carry the disc, conch, and water pot. Okay, so this is the description of Dattatreya, if you have to write that in your homework questions. Okay. Then there are 4 dogs. You notice that in the picture that represent 4 Vedas. Okay. And the cows is the symbol of Mother Earth, like that. Okay. So this is about Dattatreya incarnation. Now we will go to the next 7th incarnation, which is called Yagna, which is described in text 12. Okay, where it is said, Tataha saptam akutyam रुचिर यज्ञो विजायत सयामाद्यैहि सुरगणैः अपात स्वयं भुवंतरम. The seventh incarnation was Yagna, the son of Prajapati Ruchi and his wife Akuti. So this is the third daughter of Swayambhu and Manu, Akuti. I say Prasuti, Akuti and Dehuti, right? So he controlled the period during the reign of Swayambhu Manu and was assisted by demigod such as his son Yam. So here, what happened that this Yagna incarnation is son of Prajapati Ruchi and Akuti, and generally the administrative post such as Brahma, Indra, etc., occupied by the demigod for maintaining the regulations of the material world, which are offered to highly elevated living being. Means if living being perfect themselves, like 100 lives of Brahma, then they can become the ruler of heavenly planet. But when there is no scarcity, but when there is a scarcity of such pious living being, the Lord himself incarnates to take up that position. So during the period of Swayambhuva Manu, there was no suitable living being who could occupy the post of Indra. Okay, so this is the post of Yagnadev. So that's why the Lord himself at that time became Indra and assisted by his sons take Yam and other demigod, and then they ruled the administration of the universal affairs. So that was about the Yagna. Okay. Then there is a eighth incarnation called King Rusabdev, okay, which is described in text 13. Astame meru devyam tu nabhejati urukramaha darsayan vartma dhiranam sarvasam namaskrutam. The eighth incarnation was King Rusab, son of King Nabhi, and his wife Merudevi. In this incarnation of Lord showed the path of perfection, which is followed by those who have fully controlled their senses and who are honored by all orders of life. So this is the King Rusab. He came in the Priyavrat dynasty, King Rusabdev. Okay. And then the last incarnation that we're going to learn today is Maharaj Pruthu. You can see that Maharaj Pruthu is a king, and these four Kumaras was instructing him in this picture. So this 14th, this ninth incarnation is described in text 14, where it says, Rusi Birya Chito Beje Navam Parthivam Vapuhu Dugdhe Mam Goshadhir Viprastenayam Sattamaha. O Brahmanas, in the ninth incarnation, the Lord prayed for by sages accepted the body of King Pruthu, who cultivated the land to various products, and for that reason, the earth was beautiful and attractive. So, what happened before Pruthu? His father Vena, he made a havoc in ruling the kingdom. So that's why the Rusis enthroned him, even killed him, and then churned him, and then from his body this Pruthu came out. So sages prayed to get a, Lord avatar, and that is why. And at that time, earth was not happy, but when Pruthu came, the earth became very happy and attractive. So this is the uh, ninth incarnation of Pruthu Maharaj. Okay. So, in short, what we have covered today is we talked about Nar Narayan, Arjun, and Lord Krishna himself. Then We also talked about who is the father of Nar Narayana, Dharma, and mother is Murti. And then the reason that they appear is to teach austerity. Then Kapil Dev's father was Kardama Muni and Devhuti. And Kapil Dev taught Sankhya philosophy. And Dattatreya was son of Atri and Ansuya. And he made 24 gurus from material nature. And Yagna was son of Akuti and Rusi. And then the Rusabdev, born from King Nabhi, and his mother Meru Devi. Okay, so these are the incarnations we have learned today. Now some more we will learn tomorrow. Now before that, I will have you practice the verses that is for memorization. I will stop sharing the screen and let me try to get a verse here. Okay, so we practice this, but we can practice today also the same verse. Tomorrow we'll practice different verse maybe, okay? So are you all ready to recite the verses?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so okay, here. Sri Prahlada Uvacha.
Sri Prahlad Uvacha.
Prahladuvacha.
Kaumaram Acharet Pragno.
Kaumaram Archana Pragno.
Dharman Bhagavatanya.
Dharma Bhagavatam.
Durlabam Manusam Janma.
Dulabam Manasam.
Janma.
Tad api adruvam arthadam. Very good. So other verse that I have told you to recite, we can do that very easy verse, which we recite every day also.
Hare Nama.
Yeah, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam. Kalau nasteva nasteva. But there is another verse in chapter 2. Please recite after me. Narayanam namaskritya.
Namaskrityanam Sevanam Muktanam Devim
Yes. So one by one line, okay? So please repeat after me, one by one line. Narayanam namaskritya.
Narayanam Namaskrityanam
Naram chaiva narottamam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim saraswatim vyasam.
Devim
Vyasam.
Tato jayam udirayet. Another verse that I gave you is 1, 2, 6. Savai punsam paro dharma. Savai punsam paro dharma. Bhaktira doksaje. Yato bhaktira doksaje. Ahaitukiya pratihata. Ayatmasu prasidati. Very good. So you can practice because we have sent you these verses. Okay? And time to time we'll practice them. So far I have sent you about 7 verses. So maybe every day you can do one verse. In 1 week you will be able to remember these verses. Okay. All right. So now we open for the question and answers. And then you can play the Kahoot game.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Prabhuji, we have seen in the form of Naranarayana, they are wearing a deer skin. So we understand that we should not use or we should not harm animals, then how can we understand that God is wearing deer skin?
Yeah. So deer skin, and also they use as a asan, means, before they do tapasya. And basically, what I have heard one thing about that, the reason they use deer skin is that the tiger and lion normally will not appear there. So that's one thing that I have heard. I don't know whether that is according to the scripture or not. But in case of Lord, I mean, it is understood that whatever he does is according to the standard of Vedic, because he gives the Vedic knowledge to us. So I don't know the, very, what kind of, the, the, the real reason for it, but all I can say about it that uh, deer skin and other thing that they use, uh, because it is, uh, the Lord accepts certain things which are not harmful to the body. Okay.
Okay, okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah, there may be some better answer for that, but I don't know that.
Okay, no problem, Prabhuji. But thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Mishita, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
So Prabhuji, we were talking about a few incarnations today. So,
Yes.
You said there are so many incarnations, right?
Yeah.
So, does Krishna keep making incarnations, or is there did he stop a long time ago?
No, he can, is innumerable. It may happen. I mean, Krishna can do incarnations anytime.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Whenever, so sometimes he comes, sometimes he sends his representative. Whenever there is something disturbed in material affairs, the carrying out the activities in the universe of the material world here, then sometimes he comes. For example, Krishna, he directly came, his Vishnu Tattvas come, Narsingh Bhagwan, Ram, like that. And sometimes there are Saktya Avatar called Parsuram, we will learn that also, Vyasdev. So all they come, sometimes he sends some representative, and sometimes he comes him directly.
okay. So, the next question is, like it's related to the topic. So, are there still other incarnations of Krishna alive today?
Yeah, in this chapter, we will learn about 22 incarnations.
Yeah, like are there any incarnations that are living today?
Oh, any living today?
Yeah. Or did they die like 100 years ago?
No, I mean, the recent incarnation, which is not really, he himself came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But that is also like more than 500 years ago, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here to teach us how to love God. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are no incarnations living today?
No, it only comes when, like Kalki Avatar is going to come at the end of the Kalki, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is
So,
stated
like,
in this Shastra.
okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
That's
Krishna. Yeah. So we discussed up until now, yesterday, I mean, last week and today, we discussed total 9 incarnations, 3 last week and 6 today. And remaining, we're going to discuss tomorrow and maybe next week, some of them. Okay. That is described in chapter 3. Okay.
Thank you, Mishita. The next one is Jyotsna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
My question is, what are the 24 elements of Sankhya?
Yes. So as I said, the 5 gross, 5 subtle, like 5 gross element is earth, water, fire, air, and ether means sky. So these are the 5 gross elements. Now there are 5 subtle elements if you want to write it down: smell, taste, form, touch, and sound. And there are 5 knowledge acquiring senses, means they get the knowledge. Nose, like nose get some fragrance, identify some smell. Tongue, eye, skin, and ear. And then there are 5 working senses: hand, leg, mouth, rectum, and genital. And then 4 subtle senses, which is called mind, intelligence, ego, and consciousness.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I have one more question.
Yes.
Could you tell me the parents of each avatar and what the purpose they came to Earth?
Yeah. So Nar Narayan, they came to earth to teach austerity. Okay. And Nar Narayan, they are the twin sons of Dharma and Murti. Okay. That's one. Then the second one, 15 incarnation, Kapila Bhagwan. His father and mother is Kardama Muni and Devhuti. And Kapil Muni came to teach Sankhya philosophy. And 6 incarnation, Dattatreya. Dattatreya's father and mother was Atri and Ansuya. And Dattatreya also came to teach us austerity. And then the 7th incarnation, Yagna. His father and mother is Prajapati Ruchi, his father, and Akuti, his mother. And Yagna, normally, as I explained, there are administrators in heavenly planet who administer this material world and supply necessary. For example, Indra, Varun. Indra is the god of rain, Varun is the god of water, like that. So when those administrative posts, so Indra, Brahma, Varun, they are like posts, okay? And when a living entity can go up to that post, but sometime in some Manvantara, as you know, the 14 Manvantaras in one day of Brahma, if there is not a right suitable personality to take care of that post, then Lord himself takes that one. That is the yagna form. So he came to administer or to rule the administration of this material affairs. Okay. And the 8th Karnasari king Rushabdev, okay, whose father and mother are King Nabhi and Meru Devi. Okay. And Rushabdev also instructed his son about devotional service and to perform austerity. And then the last incarnation is Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj came out from the churning the body of King Vena by Rishis. They prayed for the Lord, and that is how Prithu Maharaj came out. He has no real father and mother. but the Rusis prayed to the Lord and they churned the body of his father Vena. And the Prithu Maharaj, when he came, because everything was not getting right, the kingdom ruling was so disturbed. So at that time, the Rusis killed the Vena, King Vena, the father of Prithu. And then they churned them, requested the Lord. So from there, Prithu came about. And then the administration became perfect. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, you're welcome.
Thank you, Jyotsna. Why? Who's why? Please unmute yourself.
Yes,
Yeah, go ahead. Do you have any questions?
yes, I have. What is Prutu? Why the Rishi killed Vena?
Yeah, because the Venu was a king who was not a good king, and he was not ruling the kingdom righteously.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah. Because he made a havoc, in the administration of the material universe.
I have another question. How
Yes.
how last Kali Yuga will stay long?
Kali Yuga life is 4,32,000 years.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
You're welcome. Anybody else? So if no question, then you can.
Neha Shri Prabhuji, one more question.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So I have a question. In the lesson, when someone is asking, what are like the 25 like the 25 elements. So when you said the five, the five, that one that gets knowledge, five that gets knowledge, you said like skin, right? How does the skin get knowledge?
By touching someone, you know whether it is a rough surface or smooth surface, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of knowledge you get by touching. So
Oh, okay.
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 Very good.
So my second question is, so if our spiritual master Lord Krishna here for us?
Lord Krishna is spiritual master for everybody. So that's why he resides in everybody's heart as a super soul. So he is a super soul. So internally he is spiritual master. Externally, we can make some spiritual master to take some instructions.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Neha Shri. Supriya Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Prabhuji,
Yes.
in Dattatreya avatar, you mentioned that he made 24 gurus from nature.
Mm-hmm.
So, Prabhuji, can you tell us briefly who are those 24 gurus?
Yeah, there are so many, earth, from earth, whatever material nature we see. I mean, I have a list of it. Okay, let me see if I can find it. There are 24 gurus that he made. Uh, I have it handy here. Let me see.
Mataji, this is Ramachandra. A few examples of like from nature, like as being gurus. Like I heard that four of them are four of them are water, elephant, deer, and I think fly. You can learn from the deer that we shouldn't easily it gets attracted, but when the hunter it gets easily attracted, and hunters make a trick for elephant, and it gets attracted again. The fly gets attracted to the fire, and then it gets burned. And then there's also bumblebee and honeybee. The honeybee takes what it needs for the whole colony, but the bumblebee takes all of it just for itself. So we should not be greedy.
Yeah, so many things you can learn from it. Correct. Yeah, you know some of them. Very good.
Thank you, Ramachandra.
You're welcome, Mataji.
Jyotsna?
Sorry, I keep having to bug you, Prabhuji. But this is the last question. What is there? Will there be another yuga after Kali Yuga? And if there is, what
Satya
is?
Yuga will start. After Kali Yuga, Satya Yuga will start.
So it'll start all over again.
Yeah, it's a cycle. It's just like a cycle, merry-go-round.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Supriya Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Here are 24 gurus if you want to know them.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Earth, wind, sky, water, fire, moon, sun, pigeon, python, sea, moth, honeybee. Some of them, Ramchandra, elephant, bumblebee, musk deer, fish, crustacean, then lapwing, child, bengals, artisan, serpent, spider, and wasp. These are the 24 gurus that he made. And each one of them, like he was saying, he learned something. For example, from earth, I'll give you a few examples.
Okay.
From earth, he learned tolerance. From wind, he learned detachment. From sky, he learned all encompassing yet very steady. Water, he learned impartial love, like that, it goes on and on.
Prabhu, we can get these details in Bhagwatam, Prabhu?
I'm sure, yeah.
Okay, when we come to Dattatreya incarnation, we can get from the, what we can say, purport.
Yeah, but it's not in this third canto, but Dattatreya, probably there are some other chapter 7 chapter in canto 2, maybe if we can find that thing. If not, it could be we have to follow Vishnu Puran or something else,
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Nehasri?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So my question is so some people wear like bear nails and some like bear and some tiger lockets. So is there any purpose behind those?
Where what? I didn't get your.
Like wear bear lockets and they will like wear some coats, right? Is there like some tiger lines so is there any purpose behind that?
Oh, the deer skin cloth, is that? What is your exact question? I am not getting it.
Like some necklace, they will wear like lockets and like bear's nails as a necklace. So is there any purpose behind that?
I don't know.
Yeah, she's asking like tiger nail, they will keep like a locket, Prabhu, in the chains.
Well, I mean, I don't know the reason why people, some sages have different things, but not in, I think in Vedic Sanskriti, all these things is not appreciated, no? In Vedic culture.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Govindu,
I have one more question. My question is, what is the sixth sense of Dattatreya?
What is what?
What is why Dattatreya has 6 hands?
Oh yeah, because
And what is the thing what he holds?
so he has 3 head, right? So
Yeah.
3 head means Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. The 3 personality became one. So each one has 2 hands. So that's why total 6 hands that Dattatreya has.
Okay, but what Dattatreya in the hand? What he used?
Yeah, he has a trident,
Trishul.
rosary. Yeah, Trishul is trident, rosary, and lotus flower. Then he has a disc, conch, and water pot.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
so now we have to start our Kahoot game.
Okay.
Mataji is there. Radhika Mataji.
Mataji, yes, Mataji. Mataji, do you mind sending the Kahoot? I mean, pass. Okay, I got it, Mataji. So I'm missing it every now and then.
Mataji,
yeah, we can do Kahoot, kids. So sorry for your wait. I'm not on video, kids, today. Hope it's okay with you. Hare Krishna, Hari Leela Prabhu, and Hare Krishna to Priyanka Mataji. Okay, kids.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat pranams to you.
Yeah.
Kids, can you all see my screen? I'm going to share my screen with you.
I cannot see.
You cannot see? Okay, I'll share it now. Are you able to see now? Hare Krishna? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, can we do the Kahoot? Are you all ready? I'm going
Yes.
to give you
Yes.
the numbers soon, and please be ready. We can play now. Okay. Here we go. The pin number is 2931806. 2931806. I see 6, 7 kids have joined. Okay, 8. Suraj, okay. 9. 13 participants, okay. Is it all? I hope this is
See how many questions in Kahoot?
10 questions, Gobind. Okay, we'll wait for you then. Join and let me know. Okay, Yash is on. So we will get started now, kids. Hare Krishna. In a form, who is Nara? Arjuna, Bhima, or Yudhishthira? Okay, great job. Only one of them misclicked probably. And okay, here are the scores. Krishna Chinta, Ramachandra, Mishi, Samardan, and Kushi. Okay, second question for today. Who is the father of Naranarayana? Adharma, Dharma, or truth? Okay, everybody got it right. Yes, it is Dharma, not Adharma. Okay, here are the top 5 winners. Yash and Samardan has come up. And third question for today. Why did Naranarayana appear? to teach truth, to teach Bhagavad Gita, to teach austerity. Why did he appear? Okay, to teach austerity. That is the right answer. And we have Neha has come up and rest of them stay the same. Who is the mother of Naranarayana? Devi, Murti or Lakshmi? Okay, it is correct answer. 3 people have misclicked and clicked Devi, which is not right. And here are the top 5 winners. Samardhan has come up and Jyotsna and Omkar has also come up, and Krishna Chinta and Ramachandra stay in the same place, second and third. Neha Shri has 4 correct answers in a row. Congratulations. 5th question for today. Who is the father and mother of Kapil Dev? Kunti Maharani and Pandu, Kardamamuni and Devahuti, Aditi and Kashyapa. Okay, 2 people have misclicked and clicked Aditi and Kashyapa. So if you look at the answers here, it's all mother and father. The question is father and mother. So again, here, this is the only answer which has father and mother. Okay, the rest of the answers don't even fit into that category. But anyways, I just wanted to even let you know that that is also one way where you can say no to other answers. Okay, and okay, Neha Shri has come up and the rest of them remain the same. Congratulations, Neha. And what did Kapil Dev preach? What did he preach? Mayavad philosophy, Sankhya philosophy, or Buddhist philosophy? Yes, very good. All of you all got it right, except 2 probably missed it. He did propagate Sankhya philosophy. Okay, Gobinda, you have 5 correct answers. And yeah, here are the top 5. 7th question for today. Whose son was Dattatreya? Indra and Vamana, Atri and Anasuya, or Daksha and Dakshayani? So who was the parents? Okay, Atri and Anasuya. Right. Omkar has highest answer streak of 7. Congrats, Omkar. How many guru did Dattatreya made? 24, 22, or 20? 24 is the right answer. I see some varied answers here. So just make a note of it. Gobinda has come to the 5th place and Ramachandra has 8 correct answers. Congratulations, Ramachandra. Wonderful listening. 9th question for today. Whose son Yajna was? Daksha and Dakshayani, Ruchi and Yajna, Ruchi and Daksha. Okay, it is Ruchi and Yajna. So I see some varied answers here.
Is it Ruchi and Akuti actually?
Oh, Ruchi and Akuti?
Yes, Ruchi, it's not.
Okay, I'm sorry. Then I would have probably not written it right. Ruchi and Akuti. Okay, kids, can you make a mental note in your memory?
Yes, I know this answer, but I clicked the wrong answer.
Okay. I'm so sorry, kids. Maybe that question was misleading then. Thank you, Prabhuji. Who is the father of Rishabhadev? King Nabi, King Uttanapada, King Priyavrata? Okay, most of you all got this also right. Okay, kids, so let's look into the scores. Probably one question got messed up. Ramachandra, third place. Samarthan, second place. And first place goes to Krishna Chinta. First place is Krishna Chinta. Nehashri and Jyotsna are runner-ups. Congratulations, kids. So we'll just look at the report and let me also see the questions.
Mataji, because of the one question.
Ruchi and Akuti, yeah.
Mataji, that one question,
Yeah.
I like I
Correct.
just
that.
thought that anyone with Ruchi in it was because Akuti wasn't there, so
Correct. Yeah, Yajna, right? I mean,
I clicked something else, and also I misclicked one.
But
yeah.
Mataji, in the last question, yeah, how could it be Nabi?
Yeah, it is King Nabi, who's
What is
the
Nabi?
father of Rishabhadev.
Rishabhadev, what is Nabi?
Father's name, Rishabhadev's father's name is Nabi.
Okay.
Now keep it in your memory. Nabi is
Yes,
Rishabhadev's father's name. And Yajna's, whose son Yajna was, is Ruchi and Akuti. Okay, Ruchi
Yes,
and
I got
Akuti. By mistake, I put Ruchi and Yajna. I mean, how can Yajna be the son of Yajna? I mean, it's not possible, right? We happen to type it wrongly. I happen to type it wrongly. So it is Ruchi and Akuti. Okay.
Okay.
All right, kids. So store that in the memory.
Got it.
And okay, Krishna Chinta. So maybe one of them, one question probably. Okay, we can see what the questions, I mean, are and how many people. Probably one question that was wrong was this one, right? That is 36. So this is
first question I was who in the Nardnara form, who is Narayan? I click Yudhishthir.
Okay, now you know it, right?
Out seeing it, I forgotten to see.
Okay, no problem, Govind. Now you know it, right? So
Yes.
this question was my bad, and then many of you all got this question too wrong. 24 is the right answer. Who's Guru Dattatreya? And then many people made mistake here as well. Whose son was Dattatreya? Dattatreya was Atri and Anasuya. Okay. Other than that, everything else looks good. Prabhuji, I think the percentage-wise I mean, all the kids did a great job, as you can see.
Yes, yes, Mataji, very nice.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji, and thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, kids. Can we all do our prayers? Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa patitanam pavanebhyo namo namaha.